RJ Barrett took on the challenge of going one-on-one against Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi got him a few times, as one of the top 3 players in the NBA is want to do occasionally. But I thought he more than held his own, had a really good game. Seemed like this game was a little bit personal to him and Julius Randle. And it's more and more and more every game on both ends for RJ Barrett. I think we're seeing, it's like I feel like I often read about, like, Zach Lowe stands out in my head when he writes about a guy that's been popping over the last like couple weeks or like couple months. And you're like, this is this player making the leap. It feels like we're watching that right now with RJ Barrett. Yeah.
And I mean, Clyde said it best, that RJ opportunity for an all-star game next year. And that's what it really feels like, because if this is his leap in the second season of his NBA career, because I think he's maybe now just about played 82 games or so around there in his career.
Just
something along those lines. Yeah. Yep. I mean, again, if you're seeing this coming together and this is the second year, and you would hope at least that it's an upward trajectory for at least a few more years, that's a scary thought for the rest of the league.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and he was very efficient today. He scored, I think, 23 points? Yeah, on 14 shots.
At one point, he was, I think, perfect. Until the second half, he was perfect from 2. He had only just missed 2 threes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just the 3 where, I think he was like, 0 for 1 tonight. Or today you want him to shoot more threes, but he's doing it in such a masterful way that it doesn't really matter, because the opportunities he's finding for other players as well. And you can just see him, like you're saying, figuring it out. He's becoming an all-around player. Had some nice defense on Kawhi. These are the opportunities that you love to see for a young player. And we've talked before about how, no player on this roster should be untouchable. And I agree with it, but now my thinking is still like, well, honestly, who would I trade for RJ Barrett? That's feasible, right? Because like you could say, oh, well, Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson, all, those types of players, but they're not going to be on the block.
I mean,
so
let's just say the name.
Right.
Say the name. It's Beal. Do you put RJ Barrett in a Beal trade?
No, and I don't. Right. So again, like that's, I guess, in a way, it makes him untouchable for right now. And if that's the context of him being untouchable, I'm totally fine with that, because what he's doing is so impressive. And especially for the exploitation that comes with a rookie scale contract, the value you're getting is so much greater than what he's making right now at around $8 million.
Yeah.
And that's just fantastic moving forward. You've got 2 years to take advantage of that contract. And next year should be a perfect opportunity to do it. And hopefully the year after that.
Yeah. Completely agree. It's coming at both ends too. So that's great. We did hear this week, I just thought of it now, that the Knicks are monitoring the LaVine situation. Zach LaVine, that's a guy who would have been nice to have in there. But again, whereas maybe before the season, well, actually, no, before the season, you wouldn't have traded Barrett for LaVine. But at some point during the season, the way he was going there for a little bit when he was really struggling with his shot, he would have been like, maybe. No, that goes right out the window. I'm going to be really curious to see how they toe the line, because even Steve Jones had a tweet before saying he's going to be really curious to see how Thibodeau balances the development of both Barrett and Quickly at the same time, because they are obviously both guys who are really good with the ball in their hands. And you have Julius Randle here. And if you bring in another guy, again, whether it's a LaVine or an Oladipo or whoever who needs the ball, like, what does that look like? And I we don't obviously have the answer to that question right now, but again, something to consider moving forward.